My name is Akeitheon Whitner. I'm representing American Top Team, Team Lima in Atlanta, Georgia. Well, now I'm affiliated with Bangtao Muay Thai as well. I'm an up and coming pro fighter, and I'm just looking to make a name and take care of my family. Um, well, college was I was a pretty great athlete, if I must say so. I really I went JUCO because of bad grades in high school, and then throughout JUCO, I rose through the ranks as one of the top cornerbacks in the nation. Then I had offers from Florida State, Georgia, Illinois, and I ended up going to Colorado State because Coach Bobo was at Georgia, and then I followed him to CSU. So when I was there, everything was pretty good, but it was on the scale of I wasn't tall enough to play corner. I'm only 5'10", and now the typical height for a cornerback is 6'1". So I wasn't tall enough. I was fast enough. I was strong enough. It's just the politics side. So after college, I really wanted a new way to compete. Wanted to find a new way to keep a sport in my life. But that's really all I know. All I know is sports. In high school, I ran track. We was the state champions in the 400. I played soccer. I mean, sports is all I know. So one day, me and my cousin, we was seeing playing Fortnite, and we seen, I think it was Israel Adesanya, and he was like, "Man, he's just like you. He's this, that, and the other." And I was like, "No, he's not." So he was like, "Man, I dare you to try that sport." So I was like, "Try what sport?" He was like, "MMA." And then when I went to a gym, I tried it, I fell in love with it, and it's been in me ever since. The first couple weeks, I started off doing jujitsu. So I wanted to be like Leandro Lo so bad. So I started off, I was doing jits, and I thought it was so crazy that you could control somebody with cloth. So I started doing that. Then I was like, man, I don't think I want to strike. I just want to do jujitsu. And then I found out there was no money in jit. So I was like, man, I got to do something because I was dirt broke. So I ended up about 6 months in, I tried striking, and then I said I wanted to do my first Muay Thai match. So I ended up training for a Muay Thai match, and I get there, and it's actually an MMA fight. So that it was crazy. So I was training for like 6 weeks strictly Muay Thai. So I get there, it was a MMA. They put on the gloves, and it's crazy because I prayed before, and I was like, Lord, please prepare me for anything that was gonna happen, because I had a feeling that something crazy was gonna happen. So it was like when they put them on me, I kind of expected it. Like, it may sound crazy, but I really did. So I went in there. My first punch, I knocked him down. But I got points deducted because in Georgia you can't hit on the ground as far as amateur rule goes. So he was getting up, and I knocked him out. I knocked him out, but it didn't count because he was on the ground. So he just wrestled me, and I ended up losing on points. But my second fight, I ended up TK on my next opponent, and after that, nobody didn't want to fight me for a year. I only had been doing it for a couple months. Then I couldn't find a fight, so my coaches sent me here to Thailand so I can turn pro. So it's been a wild ride. It's been trying to find tens of opponents, and they all backed out. And it makes me see the political side of MMA too. Like, I was thinking like everybody has to fight, but it's a business. You're a brand, and I'm really understanding the brand part about it. No, my first coaches was Amir. Amir, he was at American Top Team Gwinnett. That was before they turned it into Gwinnett Training Academy. So it's kind of like a weird story, but they ended up parting ways, and the brothers ended up having their own gym and all that stuff. But yeah, Amir was my first coach, and I don't think he knew either. So it was like miscommunication. Like, I don't blame him or anything. Like, it's no bad blood or nothing like that. It's just miscommunication, and I actually enjoyed that experience because it made me think like, okay, I gotta start wrestling. So from that day forward, all I've been focusing on is wrestling. So everybody calls me a wrestler now because that's really all I do. So it's kind of crazy how things happen, but I just thank God for it. Well, football specifically is discipline. Now I see people with a lot of talent in MMA, and I'm not trying to talk about anybody, but it is what it is. They're not disciplined as far as eating, their diet, their what they do. Football really instilled a discipline in you that makes you either want to be great or you're not. It's no in between. So as me with football, my biggest thing was showing up on time, being a pro. You know what I'm saying? Like doing the little things so that I can be great because um Frank says the little things add up and it's really true. So football really instilled a toughness, a real means to be somebody in a specific area of life. You know what I'm saying? Like for instance, my schedule was 5 a.m. we would run. So we would have like field work and all that stuff. 5 a.m. to like 7. From 7 to 8 we would have weights. And then from 8:30 to about 12, 1 o'clock, I would have class. And from 3 to 5 we would have film. And from 5 to 7 we would have practice. So it really instilled a mindset to you gotta go. Like everything is on point. Everything is proper. So that really, I carried that over to MMA, and I can see that other people that really haven't played sports, they don't have that. I wouldn't say it's an it factor. It's just a discipline thing. You know what I'm saying? It's just like military type stuff, but it's not hard to get. It's just I've been doing it all my life. That is all I know. So I'm a yes sir, no sir type person. So it's kind of easy for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to boost myself, but it is kind of easy for me to be disciplined. Like cutting weight is nothing for me because you just tell me what to do and I'll do it. Yeah. I ended up doing a super fight, a grappling super fight. So I did that. That went pretty well in my opinion. It was a real crowd pleaser, and everybody after was like congratulating me and stuff. So that was fun. But yeah, I was supposed to fight at the opening, couldn't find one. I was supposed to fight the dude that I grappled against, but he didn't want to fight me. So it's kind of crazy, but it's all God's plan. I know it's a bigger thing, and I don't like to be that guy to say, "Oh, I'm this, that." But I know what I bring to the table, and honestly, I wouldn't want to fight me either. Culturally, it's been life changing. First and foremost, being in Thailand has taught me to live with little. And coming from where I'm from Atlanta, and this it's flashy. It's you gotta have the money, you gotta have the glitz, the glamour, you gotta have everything to you gotta fake it till you make it. And man, Thailand is amazing. Thailand is respectful, and I think when I go home, it's gonna be a total culture shock because I'm noticing I don't need the fancy jewels, the shoes, the clothes, and all that stuff. Like the little stuff that I had here is all that I need. A mat, a bed, a TV. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So I really enjoyed learning not only someone else's culture, but why they're the way they are. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, people around here can have the fancy cars, clothes, and all that stuff, but they're happy with nothing. Like, it's breathtaking, and I want to instill that in my children. Like, I'm a Christian, so we don't really, how can I put it? We don't really put emphasis on having a lot, but man, this is just it's crazy. Like I love it. It's I can't even put it into words. It's really great. It's just humbling, truly humbling. It was humbling because to see how humble the number two fighter in the world is, or the number one kickboxer in the world is, it makes you think like, man, when I get there, I'm gonna have to be nice or anything like that. But it's no pressure to. It's just them being themselves, and you understand why they're at that high level is because you reap what you sow, in my opinion. And I was thinking it was gonna be intimidating being on the mats with them or talking to them, but it's been the most magnificent learning experience because I get to pick their brain. I get to ask Volk like how does he think in this situation, or what does he want to do in this situation, and he will sit there with me for however long and explain it, and that personally means more to me than us sparring or him doing anything spectacular. Is with me things go much deeper. You know what I'm saying? So I know that they don't have to say what they say. They don't have to do what they do. They don't have to give me none of their time. But the fact that they have means more than anything. And especially with more and more UFC fighters circulating, not even UFC one championship, like Shannon stays and talks to me like we talk on the phone, all that stuff. Like it's crazy. Like top calls me over to his house. Like it's crazy, and I want to be like that. I want to be the person. I want to be them to help a person that's in my situation when I get to their status.
There's gotta be
The heat, the heat. It's been so hot here, man. I did not. I'm from Georgia, so I come from heat, and man, this heat it made me understand that Thailand training is like, okay, the training is high level, but if you can do high level training in this heat, you that guy. Point blank. Period. I didn't expect for George and Frank to take me like. I'm gonna be honest. When I first talked to George before I came here, I thought he was gonna be mean. I thought he was gonna be like, no, you know what I'm saying? Like, but George had literally became my uncle. Like I call him Uncle George. Like he calls me, texts me, all that stuff too. I didn't expect that because where I'm from, we're nice, but we're not like so open because it is a trust thing. You know what I'm saying? So it made me feel much more comfortable. Like when I come here, George tells me to get on the aux and play my music. So that's a big thing for me. So and Frank came and me and him meshed together too, and it's like I did not expect that at all. I didn't expect not only those two friendships, but me to have friendships with everybody. I was just expecting to come train, you know what I'm saying, high and by, just like kind of Georgia, but it's grown into something more. And I know that I've really gained relationship that I can last for a long time. I'm fighting. I'm gonna force somebody to fight. I'm gonna force a fight. I'm gonna whatever I gotta do to fight. I'm gonna fight. Whoever I gotta fight, it is what it is. I gotta fight. It's a place that I'm trying to go. I got goals I want to reach. I need to fight. I need to fight. I need to fight. I've been begging for fights. I've been calling people out. I've been doing everything right, but I gotta go harder. Like I train hard. I'm mentally prepared. I'm mentally focused. I'm mentally there to be a pro, and I'm ready to take that step. So I'm gonna take that step, no matter if I gotta force the door open or somebody gonna pull it open for me. I'm gonna be a champion. I'm going to the UFC. I'm gonna be the featherweight champion. Point blank. Period. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. I'm gonna. It is the only thing that's stopping me is me, and I don't see me stopping me anytime soon. So I don't see nobody beating me. Of course, I am beatable. I have flaws. I have things I need to work on. But once that cage closes, nobody's gonna beat me. Nobody. It just reassures me that I'm on the right path. Reassures me that God created me for a reason. I don't really. One thing that football also prepared me for is hype. You know, like I was a 4 star, so stars don't mean nothing to me, or the hype doesn't mean anything to me. You can tell me I'm the most athletic person. You can say the person that I'm fighting is the best person ever. It don't. mean anything to me because you got to perform on that day. You got to have your stuff together on that day at that time. So I mean, my mind is still tight. I'm disciplined enough to know that anything can happen at any moment, and I'm prepared to do what I got to do to show you and prove that he's right. You know what I'm saying?